Hey YouTube, I'm Eric. Thanks for clicking the video. This is the start of a new series on my channel that I'm calling Tales of the Loonaverse, where I tell the stories of the Loonaverse from each subunit and how I think they lead towards the end of the Loonaverse. It's like a way to get caught up in the story really fast. This, of course, will be the YY by Y arc, covering everything related to them up to the Why Not era. So, enjoy. Now here we start in the YY by Y arc in, of course, Love Forever. And this is where it all starts. Eve is sneaking out of the room to escape Ian for the first time, and Chuu noticing. In this first escape, she goes to the bowling alley where Vivi is, her reverse order 1/3 member, and makes friends with her. We know this is her first time because in her new music video, she is still in her Eden uniform. She also eats an apple, which is relevant, more about this later, but Eve is happy outside of Eden, but wants to go back into Eden to help Chuu, GoWon, and Olivia Hye escape. But there are requirements each of the YY by Y members have to do to truly be free of Eden. And just like the real tale of Adam and Eve, it revolves around the forbidden fruit, the apple. There are 3 requirements you have to do before you are truly free from Eden. 1. Take a bite from Eve's apple. 2. Take a bite from your own fruit from the Rose family. 3. Interact with your reverse order LOONA 1/3 member. Keep in mind that these are the fruits for each member. Apple for Eve, strawberry for Chuu, pineapple for GoWon, and a blood plum for Olivia Hye. Now you start to notice some of the problems with the girls in Eden and the requirements now. Before Eve returns to Eden, she mentioned to Vivi, who used to be an Eden girl and an odd eye, that she can't save GoWon because GoWon's fruit is a pineapple, and that's not part of the Rose family. Vivi then tells Eve to save GoWon. Eve will now have to find a powered odd-eye girl, one that's representing fruit is part of the Rose family. Cherry. Eve, wanting to find Cherry fast, leaves Vivi to track down Cherry's last known place, the streets in Sweet Crazy Love. And why not? But she's too late. Cherry isn't there anymore, and Eve goes off into the night looking for Cherry. Vivi, wanting to help Eve a little bit more, isn't too far behind Eve, but still far enough to where she doesn't know where Eve went. Eve eventually tracks down Cherry in this unreleased clip and tells her to give the apple to GoWon in Eden. Three leave, 1 stays. Chuu. Eve returns to Eden and tries to hide the fact that she left by hiding a sock, which is found during the inspection, and she is scolded by the headmaster, and Chuu is just outside the door, eavesdropping. You notice the outfit change. While Chuu and Olivia are being scolded for breaking a rule in Eden, Eve motions to Chuu to follow her, but Chuu doesn't at first. She hesitates. Eventually, Chuu, realizing Eve was right, is shown outside Eve's window, where she decides to take a bite of the apple. 1 out of 3 requirements complete. She passes out because of it and is woken by Hasu, her reverse order LOONA 1/3 member. 2 out of 3 requirements completed. Eve tries again to get Chuu to follow her, and she does this time, and they have a party, shown in the Heart Attack music video, where Chuu takes a bite from a strawberry, her fruit from the Rose family. 3 out of 3 requirements complete. Chuu can now be set free from Eden. GoWon. Cherry, using her odd-eye powers, then teleports into Eden to drop off an apple for GoWon, and GoWon takes a bite. 1 out of 3 requirements complete. And because Cherry was there to help, and Cherry's represented fruit is a cherry, which is a part of the Rose family, when GoWon bites into a pineapple, this counts as taking a bite from your own fruit from the Rose family. 2 out of 3 requirements completed. While Chuu and GoWon are hanging out in this unreleased clip singing Seesaw, a cat comes to GoWon and she puts a bracelet around its neck. The cat runs off with the bracelet around its neck and wanders into Hyunjin's house, where, in efforts to remove the bracelet, accidentally breaks a pot growing strawberries, and eventually does get it off, but Hyunjin, still wandering the house, looking for whatever broke the plan, opens the door and finds a bracelet that GoWon made. 3 out of 3 requirements complete. GoWon can now be freed from Eden. Olivia Hye The Exception. Knowing that Chuu and GoWon are ready to leave Eden, the 3 of them, Eve, Chuu, and GoWon, are planning their escape. While planning, Olivia Hye is just outside the door, eavesdropping, and walks in. Unsure if they can trust Olivia from telling the headmaster, and the window of opportunity to escaping Eden is rapidly closing. Eve, Chuu, and GoWon decide to keep Olivia Hye out of the plan, shutting her out at every moment. But then, they do it. The escape is on. Eve, Chuu, and GoWon make a break to escape Eden into the dark forest, leaving Olivia Hye alone with the headmaster in Eden. The Lone Wolf. While alone in Eden, the headmaster made Olivia Hye perform by herself, but one time she was eating, she took a bite from her represented fruit, a blood plum, which is a part of the rose family. 1 out of 3 requirements completed. Olivia Hye explores the walls of Eden and finds a room with 1 apple in it. Olivia Hye doesn't know this, but this was a little present from Eve, just before she, Chuu, and GoWon left Eden, because Eve really did feel sorry for not including Olivia Hye in the plan. Olivia Hye takes a bite of the apple, 2 out of 3 requirements complete, but she thinks this is enough to try and escape Eden into the same dark forest where the other girls went into. But now, she's lost. She doesn't know where to go. Still angry at Eve, Chuu, and GoWon for leaving her in Eden by herself. Olivia Hye finds her way out of the forest and starts wandering around the world, still angry at the other members of yyxy for leaving her. Filled with rage, she lights a torch and starts burning everything around her, and eventually throws it in a fit of anger, setting 3 white feathers on fire. Throughout her time traveling the world, she gained followers, which could resonate with her anger. She eventually finds herself in an abandoned building after abandoned building to try and take shelter. In one of the buildings, she sees a familiar figure, Eve, looking down on her from the rafters above. Wanting to check it out, she climbs a staircase to the top, looking for that familiar face she hated so much. When she got to the roof, no one was up there. But when she turned around, Heejin, her First Order LOONA 1/3 member, was standing right behind her. 3 out of 3 requirements completed. Olivia Hye was finally free from Eden, but she wanted to go back into the Dark Forest to find her other members of yyxy, and go back in she does. In doing so, she's now lost again, and the red haze of anger corrupts the screen. But suddenly, a song plays in the distance. A sonatine, an arcane spell of love casted by LOONA 1/3, which makes this red haze fade away, and Olivia Hye is teleported in between worlds where the members of Odd Eye Circle are waiting for her. Olivia tells them that all she wants is to be with the yyxy members, now that she has more love than anger. The Odd Eye Circle girls see how much Olivia has gone through and agrees to teleport her close to them, but on one condition. When she meets the yyxy members, she must run with them to start the construction of the new moon. Olivia agrees and then is teleported back into the dark forest, but now closer to where the other yyxy members are. Eve hears this teleport, having faith it was actually Olivia Hye. As she gets to the abandoned swimming pool, she sees Olivia Hye at the top, greets her with a smile and a wave, welcoming her to Earth. Chuu and GoWon aren't far behind, and Olivia Hye jumps down to her friends of yyxy. Olivia Hye tells the other girls that she was told they all had to run to create a new moon. They lined up in the empty swimming pool, and they run. And this started the construction of the new moon, starting with the caterpillar cocooning, turning into the chrysalis, and then finally, the emergence of a butterfly. But But yeah, that was the YY by Y arc of the Tales of the Loonaverse. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.